So, very good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us today. It's wonderful to see all of you joining us for this special session titled Own the Room, the Art of Executive Presence. Before we begin, of our before we begin on behalf of our entire community, I would like to wish everyone a very happy International Women's Day. It's a day to celebrate strength, achievements, leadership, and contributions of women across every field. It is also a reminder for all of us continue supporting and empowering women to lead, grow, and make a difference. This session is organized by Microsoft Tech Talks in collaboration with MCT Tamil. Microsoft Tech Talks is a community initiative focused on knowledge sharing and bringing professionals together to learn and grow together in enhancing sessions. MCT Tamil is another vibrant community of Microsoft certified trainers who are passionate about sharing knowledge in Tamil and helping learners and professionals develop their technology skills. And I am Jerald Felix. I hope everyone here know about me. I will be your host for today's session. Joining me as the co-host is Dr. Gomathi, an educator and active community contributor who is passionate about learning and empowering others through knowledge sharing. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Janani Arumugam. Janani is passionate about helping professionals build confidence, improve communication, and develop strong executive presence. Through her work and sessions, she has inspired many individuals to step forward, express their ideas confidently, and grow as leaders. We are excited to have her with us today. Without further delay, let us welcome Janani to share us her insight with us. Welcome, Janani. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Thanks a lot, Gomathi, for first of all having me here. And I wish all the powerful women here a very, very happy International Women's Day. And I'm happy to see a couple of men joining us today to know about what is executive presence and why this lady is talking about it. Let's dive into the session. Okay. So, executive presence and how to own the room is the topic that I suggested to Jerry when he said, would you be able to take a session to a very small group of powerful women in my community? So then he asked, why are you suggesting this topic? I feel this is at the moment is the major gap that I see in the boardrooms or in the meetings that we have. I have so many Gen Zs, I have so many senior leaders that I interact with day in and day out, but there is a huge gap with the executive presence. So this is the reason why I wanted to bring this to this community to pass on some learnings that I have learned in the experience that I have for the past 20 years in the corporate life. So, are you all ready to travel with me for the next 40 minutes? A thumbs up would do. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for that. Okay. So, you see, there is a Linus picture that I would want to put in the first slide. The reason being, whenever we say, let's start something from the wild or nature, who would be the leader of
Hey,
a forest?
Janani, I think your screen is not shared.
Are you guys not able to see my screen?
Yeah, can you please reshare your
Oh,
screen,
okay. Oh,
Janani?
sure. I can do that. I don't know what happened. Give me 1 minute. Is it visible now? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just give me 1 moment. Okay, so is it visible? Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Good to go? Okay. All right. So there is also a Toastmasters screen that is open in my screen. I hope that's not visible. Yeah, please confirm that because there is a contest going on that I'm recording on the other side.
No.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Sure. All right. Let's start. So whenever somebody says, "Who is the king of the forest?" Whom do we say? Who is the king of the forest?
Lion?
Lion?
Linus.
Yes. But why lion? Did lion come and tell us that I am the king of the forest? Why lion?
It owned its
Because
own territory.
Okay. Okay. Any other thought process or viewpoints?
Very ferocious.
Ferocious. Okay.
It behaves like it is the king.
Okay. It behaves like it is a king, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. Right. So it has a majestic mane, the beautiful mane, a very, very powerful roar that it showcases, and that's the reason why we call it as king of the jungle, isn't it? But I always feel there is something interesting that most of the people do not realize. In a lion pride, the real strategic leaders are actually the lioness and not the lion. Because the lioness is the one which is actually planning the hunt, which is coordinating with the team, which protects the cubs and also sustain the huge pride. And the lion often represents the authority and visibility, right? Because of its huge mane, the way that it walks, it gives that authority and the visibility. But the lioness represents the strategy, collaboration, and the execution. Now, here is the interesting part. Liners actually don't waste energy proving that I am the leader, I am the leader, or they are the leaders, right? They simply step forward when the leadership is needed with no announcement, no title, and just to clarify that it has to fight, kill something for its cub, and get into the action. But for many years, amazing women out here, women have been like Linus. All of us were like Linus. We do the work that has been assigned to us. We drive the results. We were focused. We were holding the teams together. But sometimes staying invisible in the leadership story as well, right? We always were at the back. And executive presence is the moment when the lioness does not stay in the background. We step forward and we show the world that we are here. It is our space. And ladies and gentlemen, leadership is not about roaring the loudest like the lion. It is about having the confidence to step forward when the moment demands it. And today, I would want to talk about how every woman can do that exactly, how we could own the room. When I say room, I would like to understand the average age of this group could be around 30, 35. The average age, 40, I assume.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so 40, 40. Okay, so it would be, let's say 35 to 40. And most of us are part of meetings, different meetings within our team. And sometimes we get an opportunity to talk or to present among the senior leaders or to the board members, right? So, how are we going to own each and every meeting? So, that is what I would want to convey and take the session forward. So, leadership does not grow in silence. Leadership grows when your voice enters the room. So, this is my favorite quote. And, as we are all from India, how did we grow up in India? Right? Most of the times at school, whenever there is a question asked, whenever there is an event, whenever there is a competition, when a boy, my best friend Murli, when he raises his hand up, everybody appreciates him, saying that, "Hey, super da, you will do a great job da, you have to take the lead role in the drama da," and so on. But when I raise my hand, uh, there will be a brand that will be attached to me that, oh, this girl talks too much, and she behaves as if she knows everything, right? And that is a terminology that has been associated in Tamil for quite a long time, only for women, which is called Vayadi. Have you ever seen any men being tagged as that? Only we've been called as Bayadi, right? It's a very, why? I've been wondering this question for such a long time. They also talk. No offense to the women, sorry, men who are there in the room, but why? So that I feel, even in a home, they'll say that good girls don't talk. You have to be very quiet to prove that you are very good at something, and sometimes when your elders say something at home, we really don't talk back in the name of respect, even when that is something wrong or some information that has been given to us incorrectly. You really don't have the rights to talk again, saying that, Tata, no, it's not like that. Appa, it's not like that. Amma, it's not like that. Or Anna, it's not like that. We have never done that, right? We always been told that stay quiet, don't talk back. You have to respect your elders. Don't speak loudly. And don't show off is another question. Another statement that has been imposed on lot many of us. Don't show off with your clothes. Don't show off with anything that you have. Just stay quiet. And good girls are very polite and quiet. So this is another statement that has been imposed on women for quite a long time. I've also been to a lot of events like marriages and so on. When the boy talks, they'll say, "Oh, he is going to be the future leader." Yeah, he will definitely get into some leadership role. But when girl talks confidently, they'll say, "Oh, too much of confidence, overconfidence. You got to be really, really working on that." Yeah, please talk softer and so on. So we grew up becoming responsible, sincere, and hardworking, but not necessary visible leaders, right? We learned capability, but actually not the presence. But this is how we've been grew up from our childhood, your school, your college, at home. But when you enter the workplace, you realize something really surprising, that workplace rewards people who really speaks clearly, boldly, influence on the decisions that you could make on a table, present the ideas confidently, and build network. In other words, my dear ladies, this is called the executive presence. So when I'm saying executive presence, what exactly is this executive presence this woman is talking about, right? So before I get into this executive presence, say for example, you're traveling in a flight and the flight is about to start. Let's imagine two scenarios. So the pilots come and announce sometimes that when there is a heavy wind or something, you get the announcement from the pilot that, good morning, fellow passengers. I think we should reach safely. Hopefully the weather is okay. We will try our best. What would be your thought inside sitting in the flight? Would you be confident? You will be playing all your Kolasami, right? Ma, I should get down properly, isn't it? What is actually missing when the pilot announces this way? Can anybody unmute and say what is missing? What do you think? What do you think is missing when the pilot said, "Good morning, passengers. I think we should reach safely. Hopefully, the weather is okay and we will try our best." What do you think is missing in this statement?
The confidence
Empathy.
or confidence.
Absolutely right. So you will always be thinking that I am not going to travel in the flight anymore, right? But what if, say, imagine another pilot like Rajnikant comes in and say, Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain Rajnikant. The weather conditions are stable and we will reach Bangalore exactly at 10:20 a.m. Sit back and enjoy the flight. How would it be now? Confident? The pilot showcased his confidence. Same
Yes.
aeroplane, two different pilots, same weather, same journey, but one thing changed, which is the presence. Confidence makes people trust the leadership, and executive presence works exactly like that. Now, executive presence is very, very simple. It's an ability to inspire confidence in others before you even prove yourself. How do you do that? How would you create that ability to inspire confidence among somebody before you even prove, right? So, with that, I would like to talk about these three important components of executive presence. The first one is called gravitas. Yeah, this is the weight of your thinking, the thought process. When the problem occurs, some people panic, right? Some people stay silent, and but the leaders with gravitas say calmly, "Let's pause. Let's understand the problem." Right? For example, on a Monday morning, you go with a cup of coffee to your desk and you open the mail, and the first mail that you foresee is urgent escalation. Say 5 million euros on hold. That's your first mail that you see on a Monday morning. What would be your thought process? How would you actually react to it? Won't we panic as a human? And when there is a 5 million euro blockage because of your team, what would we usually do? We tend to pinpoint somebody who's actually responsible for that, isn't it? We go to the developer, we go to the tester, we go to the functional expert. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that the calmness would be really, really less in this aspect. But if you have the executive presence, if you're going to practice executive presence, the first thing that you would remember is being calm. Self awareness. So, that is what is extremely important, where you know, okay, the situation had happened, but how am I going to handle this? So, the I comes in first, even before you pinpoint on somebody else or even before you start understanding the problem. So, you take the responsibility that I'm going to look into it and I'm going to see what exactly the problem is. And I am not going to take this tension or stress to my team. So that's the most important thing, which is the gravitas. Yeah. Pausing and reflecting is the most important thing. And people love this kind of leadership, and people automatically trust the leaders if somebody is behaving like that. And the next important tool is the communication. Leadership is largely communication. If your ideas are going to stay inside your head, they cannot create an impact. But communication allows you to influence the decisions, share the ideas, and inspire teams. Your work speaks. Only when you speak, people will really understand that, okay, she has some content to talk about. Have you experienced in so many meeting rooms where you would have done so much of analysis about the topic that is going to be discussed, and you would have made all the data ready, the dashboards ready, and you know about the content. But when you go inside the room where a lot of senior leadership team is present, you will always let others talk first. You will not be the person who will initiate the discussion saying that, okay, guys, I have something very important to talk about and I have something important to present about. No, we rarely do that. And have you ever seen in a meeting some people who are not actually aware about the content of 100% would have started speaking first, and the second person who could have only half baked information, but he or she could have spoken the second. But sometimes the person with so much of data, so much of content in the head would have walked out of the room without even talking or uttering a word in the meeting room. So that is the huge mistake that we do, and that is what this communication plays a major role in bringing the best out of you and showcasing your presence to the entire team. And the third one is about the appearance and the energy that you bring into the team, right? So I'm not talking, when I say appearance, I'm not talking about the fashion, definitely not, but posture, the very confident posture that you could showcase, and the confident eye contact that you could give it to your leaders, give it to your team members, and the way how you enter your room. Trust me, each and everything plays a major role in marking your presence. Sometimes someone walks into the room, into the meeting room, and suddenly the room becomes really attentive, right? That is called the executive presence. Now, I would also like to talk about where exactly sometimes women go wrong, right? Many a times we go wrong. Let me say something that is slightly uncomfortable but very real. I'm seeing this each and every day in my team, in the communities that I lead, in a lot of forums that I'm part of, right? Sometimes women don't struggle because of the lack of capability, right? We struggle because how we approach the opportunities. Very often, when a leadership team or leadership opportunity comes up, men say, I will do it, even when they are only 60% ready. But many women say, maybe we can do it together, or I have to check if I am ready, or you always have a self doubt that, am I really ready for this? Right? Or we look inside the room for another woman to support us before stepping forward. Almost like saying, if you come, I will also come. Even to take printouts, we really look forward for a company. Even when we go to the restroom, we look forward for a company, right? Even when we go for a lunch, an office lunch, we look forward for a company, right? But ladies and gentlemen, you really have to understand something, that most of the leaders would have told you that it is very lonely at the top. It's extremely lonely at the top. But the view from the top is breathtaking. The view from the top is breathtaking, which means we should also practice doing things alone. That is extremely important. Extremely important. So you really have to ask a couple of questions to your mind, that are you ready to stand alone? Executive presence means saying that, yes, I can. But leadership roles are rarely given to a perfect person, right? So they are given to the person who shows that readiness, and your confidence is going to create that opportunity. So I feel day in and day out, I'm seeing the gap in these things. I would also like to talk about my personal turning point. Yeah. So I love this quote again: owning your presence is not about becoming someone else, it's about becoming more fully yourself. When I started, I have a work experience of about 20 years now. So when I started working for HCL, which is my first company, for the first 5 years, you are in your fresher mode where you tend to give your best. All that will happen. But after 5 years, you will really start thinking about promotions, hikes. What is the next role that I could really think of, right? So I was someone who was a technical expert. Basically an SAP consultant of that is a specific module called project system. That is my expertise. So I started learning a lot about that, and I started learning the sub modules, the modules that could support me to excel in my technical skills, right? So that's how it was going on, and I was fantastic. I was doing great in my technical job. Any topic that is given to me, I will excel in it. But what was missing was the promotions were not happening. The hikes were not happening as expected. The appreciations from the customers are not happening. The stakeholders were not noticing. So that is when I understood I have to start noticing what others are doing, right? So I started noticing what my leaders are doing. I started noticing what my mentors are doing. So that is when I realized they are not technical experts. I am the technical expert, but the visibility who is getting that the somebody who can talk the same technical topic, technical knowledge that I have, even if you have only half of it, if you are able to convey the problem and the solution that you resolved with so much of clarity to a big round of people, that is when, my dear ladies, the visibility and the presence is felt. That's the most important thing. So I really started working on that. I know, okay, technically I'm really good, I can excel in it, but what other things that I could do? How do I present myself to the leadership? How do I lead the discussions? And how do I influence the decisions that is being made or the decision that I want to be made? And how do I get the visibility? Sometimes I wonder what are they doing differently. But then when I started learning about it and when I realized I have to do it, I understand that that is extremely powerful. They were not just doing work, they were showing leadership. They spoke confidently, they presented ideas, they built relationship, and I started doing it slowly and slowly. Things started changing. I started speaking more. I started networking with leaders. Go for coffee, just chat, just ping them and tell them that I want to discuss on a topic that I have. I thought you would be the right person to talk about. Leaders love ideas that comes from anybody. Just go for a coffee and talk to them. I started taking stages. I was very nervous initially, but then now I became very, very comfortable on the stages. So that is a saying that I really, really love, that you have to practice being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. And most of the times, the uncomfortable situation is speaking in the meeting, even when you are when you want to meet 3 to 4 people to present on a topic, you will have that fear in mind, right? So that is extremely important, that being comfortable in the uncomfortable way. And I think this statement helped me in all my 20 years of journey to become highly visible in the organization and to start taking so many important strategic topic in the organization, right? Because my presence became visible. Leaders started calling me and started giving me topics saying that, Janani, I think you would be the right person to do it. So that is the work that I've done for the past 10 plus years. So that's my personal learning that I really wanted to bring it to this team. And the next is a very, very beautiful story that I tell my son, especially from the Mahabharata. I'm pretty sure all of you know about Mahabharata, but this particular chapter, right? So on the Kurukshetra war, where both Arjuna and Duryodhana went to meet Krishna for support. So I'm sure all of you know this story, where Krishna gave them a choice to Arjuna and Duryodhana. He said, one side Krishna himself, but he will not fight. On the other side, Krishna's entire powerful army. And Duryodhana quickly chose the army because he thought, oh, a big army is going to help me. But Arjuna wisely chose Krishna. Why? Why did Arjuna chose Krishna? Anybody?
Leader.
Leader?
You want the
Okay.
leader.
Intelligence and power of commanding.
Strategy.
Fantastic.
Strategic.
Fantastic.
Planner.
Because Arjuna understood something powerful, that one person with wisdom and presence can influence the entire battlefield. Krishna never fought. I'm sure you all know it. Krishna never fought, but his clarity, guidance, and the influence that shaped every decision And my dear ladies and gentlemen, that is the executive presence. You really don't need to dominate the room, but when you speak, people listen. People listen. That's the most important thing that I want to convey about the most beautiful chapter of Mahabharata. Moving ahead, so we've been talking a lot about executive presence. What is executive presence? Understanding a lot about executive presence. Now, how can you showcase that executive presence, right? Because executive presence is not a personality. It's a habit that we really have to instill. We really have to develop for some years. And it's not going to come. Okay, so today I'm going to have the executive presence in my meeting. Can that happen? Well, no, not possible. I told you that I've been practicing it for the past 10 plus years, and there are few powerful signals that you can send to the room which can establish that executive presence, the authority and the command that you have. So I would really want to take you all through that. So the three signals of executive presence, which I feel I've been practicing for several years and which had worked much for me, is the first one is I belong here. Own your space with confidence. When you're there in the room, you have to make sure that this is my space, this is my room, and I am the one who could talk. I am the one who's going to initiate the discussion. I am the one who's going to debate. There are so many times we think, especially women think disagreement is wrong. When a leader talks something, we will not even talk back. And we know that what he thinks is, no, it doesn't, it's not going to work. Yeah, that will be there in your mind, but we have never spoken about it because we feel disagreement is wrong. And especially when you disagree with a leader, you will see the next 5 years of your career. He has my hikes. He has the control on my promotion. If I'm going to disagree with him, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in the same position for several years. My dear ladies and gentlemen, that is wrong. That's the thought we really have to take out. You can disagree, disagreeing politely, disagreeing gently. Leaders love it. Leaders love the disagreement, but it has to be done in a way that it is gentle. Don't show your authority when you're disagreeing. Disagree gently. And that creates a lot of conversation between you and your leader. And that's how your travel starts to the leadership roles. And the second one is, I know what I'm talking about, right? So when you want to talk about a solution that you had created for a problem, or a problem statement that you want to convey to your team, or you want to talk about some organizational changes which could create some kind of chaos inside the room, you really need to work on the content that you're going to talk about, right? You have to clearly communicate it to the team so that even the new member in the team is able to understand what is that you're going to talk about. So that's very important. Communicating with clarity, with content, and with substance plays a major role. So this is the second one that I feel is very, very important, and it could work. And the third one is, you say, you can trust my leadership. Demonstrate it consistently. Consistently. You cannot try doing it just for one meeting and then leave it. No, it is not going to work. When you enter the room, people should know she's like that. When she talks, she will talk clearly. And when she talks, I will listen because that is a content, that is a powerful message, or she motivates me. Whatever the purpose that you're talking about, it gets conveyed very clearly. By that, the relationship between you and your team, or between you and your leader, develops. When the relationship develops, the trust gets created. So that is when you become reliable leader in your organization. Consistency plays a major role. Every meeting, every stage that you take, every call that you attend, take that as an opportunity. Prove your leadership, instill your executive presence, start doing it from today, even from any single call that you talk. Right? These three signals always work for me. And if you do not know some content, go ahead, do a research, Get yourself into it, understand the basic concepts, and then you come and talk. So that's the most important thing. So these are the three signals which plays a major role. And the next important thing is about the 30-second rule, right? Which works for me every time. So I think I'm disclosing all the secrets to this beautiful team. Yeah. So when you walk inside the room, you really have to walk with intention. Purposeful walking is extremely important. You have to walk with intention that you are here to resolve that issue. You are here to resolve the chaos. You are here to resolve the escalation. You are here to bring the team together. So that's a thought process that we really have to have. And stand or sit straight, which plays a major role. So we spoke about the posture, right? When you're inside the meeting room, don't slouch or don't go back. You really have to sit straight, stand straight. The posture plays a major role. And also when you're talking, when you're conversing with your team members, have a proper eye contact with them, with your leader. Proper eye contact is extremely powerful. When you do an eye contact, people will be able to connect with you, right? So this is very, very important. This you have to do in the first 30 seconds. This you have to really do even before you start speaking. Your posture, you have to consistently start doing it from now, and when you're consistent, it automatically happens. The executive presence automatically comes in you. And the next thing is about the leadership voice, what to avoid and what to say instead. So in so many meetings you say, I think maybe we could try this for this particular escalation that had happened, and this might be a silly idea, but I really wanted to say it. Or you will say that I have some thoughts. Can I say, if you permit? Sorry, just one small point. If you talk like this, my dear ladies and gentlemen, things don't move. Maybe you will complete that meeting successfully, but what is the presence that you showcase to the leadership team who have been looking into it? So they will really feel that you're not confident. If you are not confident in what you are saying, why should I be confident about your leadership skills, right? So that's the thought process that the leader will have on you. So what to say instead? You have to be very confident and say, here is my suggestion. Point number 1, 2, 3. These are my recommendations. I recommend we try this approach. Based on the data, this is the best option. If you feel it's wrong, prove me. Debate with me. Disagree with me. These are the beautiful statements that you could really use in your meetings day in and day out. And ladies and gentlemen, confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is clarity. If you practice well, it's going to help you big time. And that had helped me all the time. And the next is this power pause technique, which is the beautiful tool in a very strong and powerful communication, right? So you could have seen so many leaders use the silence as a strategy, right? Like, it's not about politics, but I had seen Modi doing it so many times. I've seen Mahendra Singh Dhoni doing it so many times. I've seen Indra Nooyi doing it so many times, right? The pause, the powerful pause plays a major role. If you're going to talk like a train, people will lose focus and concentration. But instead, you could say a statement and then give a pause. Wait for your team to agree or disagree with you, and then move on to the next one. And when you're talking about a major change, say that is an organizational change, that is a change in the CEO, or that is some kind of very disrespected message that you want to pass on to your team member. So these pauses are very, very important. It will land extremely beautiful and it will create a great impact. But don't leave a long pause. People would think that you forgot what you want to talk about, right? And also most important thing is, when you're using pauses, also have an eye contact with somebody from whom you are looking for the response. So that plays a major role. That's a difference, right? So when you leave a pause, they'll think that, okay, you are looking out for the answer from them. So that's very important. So this is the very, very powerful technique that you could use to improve the executive presence. And the next important thing is, how do you talk structure with structure, right? Usually, will any speech that you take, you really need to have a opening, a fantastic content, and the conclusion. And always the longer explanation might not create an impact at all. But if you're going to create a structure your thoughts in your mind, like, okay, this is a problem and this is my customer's impact, and I am pretty sure that we cannot complete this escalation or task within this given deadline. So what is the timeline risk? Do we have the most critical resources available to resolve this? So these are the important things that you really need to structure when you talk to the leaders, right? So when you talk with structure, clarity, and composure, trust me, your presence will be felt all the time. And the next important thing is stop over explaining. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes when we over explain, right? And you really have to identify the problem, what is the shift, and what are the recommendations, right? My boss personally do not just when I just go and talk to him only about the problem, he really hates it. He always says, so Janani, what are your recommendation? I understand this is a problem. What are your recommendation? So I always go with the recommendation. I will, because all the leaders are very busy. They're not really interested or have time to listen to all the dramas that we want to convey to them, right? So go with the crisp content. Don't over explain. This is my problem statement. This is the recommendation. Do you agree or disagree? So this is extremely important. This showcases your confidence and your executive presence. And body language plays a major role. So this we have already spoken about. You really have to stand straight, sit straight, have a fantastic eye contact with everybody, good open gestures. So when you talk, don't always have a closed body language, have an open body language. So whenever there is an open body language, which means that you are very inclusive to people and people really like, don't fidget. Fidgeting is this, right? So when you talk, especially when you stand and talk, we always will keep our hands in the pockets. I've seen many men do that, or clutch our hands or do something like this. Please don't do that. So these are the body language that will not convey the confidence of you to people. So that's very, very important. And the next important thing is, as we have a lot of women here, I would also like to give you a few things on how you could dress to showcase your executive presence, right? So as I said, it's not about fashion, but you really have to invest on one good set of clothes where you could carry it to the boardroom or any of the important meetings. It could be a blazer, or it could be a beautiful cotton saree, or something that you would feel that will make you very confident. But invest on one full suit or one good saree or something which you feel very confident about. That's very important, and that investment is good. Yeah, and go for neutral colors. Don't go in some yellow and so on. So look out for some neutral colors: blue, gray, black, beige. All these works, and these are very, very good. And investing on this is investing for your future, right? And also minimal distractions. A simple outfit would be more than good enough to showcase your executive presence. Now, I always tell women that please invest on a good watch, a good shoes if you're wearing a blazer, and a good coolers. You have to look cool as well, isn't it? Whenever there is an outdoor meeting or something like that. So these are the points that I would want to talk to you about it. So, and most important thing is prepare before the important meetings. You really have to come prepared on whatever topics that you want to talk about. Don't have overconfidence that I know everything and I'm going to convey, especially when you're talking to the leadership team, sitting with the leadership team, or even if you're going for a lunch meeting. Please make sure what is the message that you want to convey, or what is the decision that you are expecting as an outcome of the meeting, or what is the influence that you want to do it on the other person during that meeting, right? So you really have to do that, because preparation is going to remove all the nervousness and build that confidence that you are there for that meeting. So that's very, very important. So this is pretty much about me. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you will practice this executive presence from now on, and Let me know if it works. And this is the final quote with which I would want to conclude. Do not shrink your presence to fit the room. Instead, expand your presence so the room grows with you. Thank you so much. Now I'm open for questions and back to you, Jerry.
It's really a fantastic session, Janani. I learned a lot, and thanks for all the hints. I will take it forward in my next upcoming meetings.
Thank
I
you so
hope
much.
it is same with everyone here. Yeah, over to Gomathi.
Janani, thank you so much for sharing not only the concepts of executive presence, but also you have shared your personal journey and experience, which made the session really relatable and meaningful. And the ideas which you shared about, like confidence, communication, leadership, the importance of the 30 seconds truly gave a practical takeaway that we can apply in our professional lives, I think. So, and particularly, I like that message. We belong in the room and our presence matters. Was truly powerful and inspiring for everyone here, I think. So I would also like to sincerely thank Gerald for hosting and organizing the session so smoothly. And of course, a big thank you to all the participants who joined here with us today and made the session more engaging and impactful. On behalf of Microsoft Tech Talks and MCT Tamil, I wish you all happy International Women's Day. Let us continue to support, inspire, and empower each other. Thank you all and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much. I see a hand raised from Arun.
Okay. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't notice. Arun, you can mute. You are in mute, Arun. Arun, you're in mute. Yeah,
Sorry.
please.
Yeah. Happy Women's Day, everyone here. And I have a question like, if a woman is willing to contribute or willing to join any initiative, she has to spend additional effort in the office, right? So she has to put more effort other than their regular work. So their family commitments, they are too much committed to the family, their primary responsibility for their kids or anyone at the family. How will it work for everyone, Jaran?
Thank you so much for the beautiful question. I would really like to disagree that the woman is the primary responsibility for the home. It has to be both a husband and wife. Today I am at office, I'm presenting, and my husband is taking care of my son. And the most important part that every woman must do is, Arun, create a fantastic support system, right? So be it their family members or getting a helper to support the home, because not just women, men, we feel safe when our family is safe. We feel confident when our family is confident, right? And I totally agree with you. Most of the women are not part of multiple topics in work because they want to go back home, they want to take care of the family, right? So, but what I always suggest and what I practice is prioritizing tasks. Prioritizing task plays a major role because I am the one who's leading the run community in Bosch. I am the one who is also leading the Toastmasters community in Bosch. And I am also a part of program office leading multiple communities in BGSW apart from my regular work, my regular bread and butter of senior project management. Now, it's very important for us to prioritize what is important for that hour, right? So, and also if amazing men like you could support or be a very strong support system for women, I think anything is possible, right? And a gentleman like you, Arun, you really have to encourage women saying that, come, I will help you. Come, let us support each other. So that's the most important thing. And request all the beautiful women out here to create a support system so that you feel confident at workplace as well.
Thank you.
That's well said, Janani. Even I agree to that. Like prioritizing and time management is most important for any women who wanted to balance, both work and family, their hobby, their everything, whatever they wanted to achieve.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the fantastic opportunity, Jerry and Gomathi. I really, really enjoyed presenting the topic that is very, very close to my heart.
Thank you so much for your time, Janani.
It's my
And would
pleasure.
love to meet you again in some other sessions and everything. Thank you so
Anytime.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.